everyone, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back, Star Family. This pick a card is going to look at the situation in regards to your person in the event that they reach out to you. What should you do should they reach out? So this is kind of like guidance or advice, or perhaps what action to take should they reach out to you. Maybe you're not prepared for something like that. If they were to contact you again, maybe in a no communication, no contact situation, maybe this is going to give some enlightening advice or guidance in regards to how to handle that situation. So let's take a look today at basically how to react or what to do should they reach out to you again. So I have 4 stacks on the table. If you haven't had a chance to meditate on a stack as of yet, by all means, please go to the very beginning of the video, because there are timestamps also where you can click on silent meditation, take as much time as you need to, pause where necessary in order to focus and choose your stack. And if during that time you feel guided and led to pick more than one stack, by all means, please go ahead and listen to intuition, because that's always going to be the best thing. Also, readings are timeless, so whether you watch it now at the upload time or a couple months down the road to a couple years down the road, it doesn't really matter. It's whenever it's placed into your awareness, there may be a message there for you. Readings are general, so I certainly don't expect them to resonate with everybody watching. Everybody comes from different walks of life and is having different experiences at the moment. So if this particular pick a card doesn't connect, I would say maybe check out my pick a card playlist. There may be another message there that would resonate better. And if I'm not the reader for you, that's okay too, because YouTube is full of so many other readers. I'm pretty sure someone has the messages that you're looking for. And love readings, right? When we look at love readings, consider that there are some things that may be flip-flopped, vice versa, interchangeable. There may be things that would talk more about you, and then other things that would describe perhaps more about your person. So energies can be interchangeable that way. And I would say, if something doesn't fit, also don't make it fit, because again, they're general. And if this one particularly, if one pile that you pick doesn't work out, feel free to pick another one. Okay, feel free to pick a different pile. So with all of that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. We're going to go directly into stack number 1. Stack number 1, you chose the bell, and I will incorporate that into the reading. We want to take a look at today what it is that maybe you should do, or maybe advice or guidance in regards to what you should do should your person reach out. Perhaps you've been in a situation where there's been no communication or no contact, and you're not sure perhaps, or prepared even, how to react with a situation like that should it present itself. So let's take a look. Okay, it says listen to your intuition. In the near future, so that's a timing card. It says love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Okay. We have the Golem, a close friend acts on your behalf. And then we have the time card. Okay. So let's get some tarot in regards to this, and what you should do if they should reach out. Okay, what do we have? Knight of Rods. Somebody could be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. That could be you. That could be your person. Okay. The Two of Wands. Let's see. What should you do? Should they reach out? We're asking for action, right? What action to take? All right, so we have the Magician. All right, I don't know why I just heard from the Magician, things have to add up. It's kind of like if they don't add up, then I'm hearing it's like not going to work. Like something has to add up. Okay, it's like 1 + 1 is 2, that kind of thing. And it does kind of feel like there's a need to put a healthy boundary perhaps between you and your person. So if they should reach out, it kind of feels like you're going to have to make yourself be respected, or set a healthy boundary so you are respected. Because it does say here, your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Love yourself first. In other words, know your worth first. Know your worth. Set those healthy boundaries. Wear your armor, perhaps, even, because whenever I see this, I do think of armor, and he does have a sword, and that's, sword of truth. The armor's a shield, and the truth, is a very powerful tool. So I kind of feel like the action to take would be to set a healthy boundary. If they come back to you, listen to your intuition. It does feel like it may be in the near future. Now, it's not giving us an actual time frame, but it's saying near future. And I do feel like, yeah, there will be action here towards you with this Knight of Rods, because Knight of Rods energy, Knight of Wands themselves are usually very excited, very passionate. They're go-get-em energy. They want to pursue the things that they desire or are passionate about. And I feel like it's going to put you at a point, like when they do come back, it's going to put you at a point where you're going to have to decide your path. You're going to probably have to set an ultimatum, perhaps for them, if they try to come back and reach out to you. You're going to have to stand in that moment and decide, do I really want this? Right? If they offer something to you, if they start coming towards you with this energy, because it is about action and movement, if they start coming towards you, it may be a matter of questioning, is this what I really want? And then having to listen to your intuition in order to be 100% certain, because this Two of Wands does talk about decision making, being at a pivotal moment where you can go left, you can go right, you could choose A, you could choose path B. And you have to sit with yourself for a little bit in order to decide which is the right thing for you. But nonetheless, the world is depicted as being in your hands. So the call or the choice is yours. The ball is in your court, is what I'm hearing. I do feel like there's action here, but you're going to face off with them, because if you look at the body language of these two cards, right? The Knight of Rods feels like it's coming towards you, and then you're facing off. It's face to face. You're going to come face to face with your person, it feels like. But I feel like this is your energy stack, number one, and this is your person presenting their passion and desire towards you. And you're here with, the answer or the ball in your court, having to decide, is this what I really want or not? You may also present them with an ultimatum, okay? The Two of Wands, for whatever reason, feels like that to me. It does kind of act as it being a crossroads as well. So you might give them an ultimatum, or when they come back, it's going to place you at a crossroads, and it kind of feels like you'll either have to decide if you want them or if you want you more. If you want you more. Does that make sense? I hope so. And I guess it's because of this. Love yourself first, right? Who do you love more? Do you love them now more, or do you love yourself now after time has gone by and you've been in no contact? Maybe it kind of feels like maybe the situation has taught you how to love yourself. And it's like if they come back, it might be a situation of, no, I'm good. I love me more now. And, it's like this feeling of like, if you want to be with me, this is how it has to be, or I have to keep it moving. Again, I have to go a different way. The thing here, as far as what to do if they should reach out, make sure it's like knowing where you stand. Like, know who it is that you love more at this point. Because sometimes when you're in relationships, you tend to give yourself, people in general tend to give themselves away and all that they are to their partner. They give full devotion and then leave nothing left for themselves. I'm wondering if this was a situation that was like that. Maybe you devoted a lot of yourself to this person and you forgot about yourself in the process. And in the midst of maybe not being with them, this taught you perhaps how to put that energy back on yourself where it belonged, back onto you, and taught you how to love yourself. So it's kind of like the action to take is also not to forget all the progress you've made up until this point just because they show back up again. To remember to love yourself first and to make sure you set healthy boundaries, because if they didn't respect you in the past, you want to make sure that if anything, they respect you now. So you're going to really have to listen to your intuition on this one, whether it's worth pursuing them or letting them pursue you if they should come back around or reach out to you. The Magician energy does talk about empowerment, right? Manifestation mode. So maybe secretly you perhaps have desired them back in a way that maybe you were hoping to manifest them back. But I also feel like the Magician energy talks about your own magic, your own power, and putting that into practice. And also be careful with manipulation, because if this is not talking about you being empowered enough to create, your own magic for yourself, in general. This is talking perhaps about their energy being a little manipulative. And maybe with the energy of the Two of Wands kind of having its back to the Magician, okay? It could be that maybe you're turning away from that manipulative energy if they were in a shadow aspect. You're turning your back to that because you're so much more, I guess, I'm getting the vibe of stable, you know, because if you learn to love yourself after all this time, you wouldn't be as easily persuaded or tricked, right? Because sometimes the Magician can talk about a trickster energy because it can manipulate the elements, it can manipulate things to its will. Okay, so if your person did that in the past, this is about setting healthy boundaries so they don't do that again. And you might be turning your back towards that. Okay, if they are this manipulative energy here, I could see you turning your back towards that based on the cards here, because it's a matter of setting a healthy boundary for yourself, protecting yourself, so that way you don't get hurt again. Another thing is with this Golem energy, it does talk about, you know, your friends, somebody close to you acting on your behalf, maybe looking out for you, having your back. So I would say be open to anything that perhaps your friends might be able to share with you or say to you, because sometimes friends and people closest to you see things from outside looking in perspective. They might be able to glean something about your person that perhaps you're not seeing, and you want to just want to have keep an open mind when it comes to what they might have to share in regards to something about this person when they come back. Okay, because that might actually enlighten you to something. You do have the Time and you have the Bell energy here. You know, the Time talks about, like, you know, life passing you by. It does talk about time going by. Maybe because of the time aspect, it can talk about a relationship that's, you know, it's been a while in that connection, been a while that you haven't seen them. Maybe it was a long time coming. It talks about deadlines, schedules, time passing by, you know. Also, I just remembered the idea of, like, what's that thing called? I don't know why I'm getting, like, idea of, like, a pressure cooker. I don't know why I'm getting that, but anyhow, it talks about time constraints and deadlines and the pressure of those things, right? So if this person comes back, you might feel the pressure of it, okay? It might feel like a very stressful situation. But again, the idea of ultimatums, I don't know if that person would be trying to put that on you, or perhaps you would be putting it on them as a healthy boundary. But there's this feeling of, like, having to decide something within a certain time constraint for whatever reason with this energy here. All right. But it could also just simply mean that so much time has gone by that even if they do come back, it kind of feels like someone's already changed. Okay. Someone's changed too much to maybe even try to go back to that situation. We do have the Bell, and the Bell talks about, you know, an awakening. So maybe you've woken up in that time. Maybe, you know, perhaps they've woken up, and perhaps that's what's in, you know, kind of making them come back around, is because perhaps they had a wake-up call and decided, you know, maybe to give it another go. But somebody's woken up with this. And with the Bell, it usually announces the start of something or the ending of something. And it can talk about a warning. You know, like when you have alarms going off with the bells, that's a warning. So I can't help but think that, you know, that's kind of like a warning energy, just to not get sucked into something again, that may cause you to I guess slip up on the progress you've already made in this time that has gone by between you and your person. Just be very cautious. Again, the idea of listening to intuition, you'll want to pay attention to that. What does your gut instinct tell you? That's going to be the first thing that you'll want to listen to or pay attention to when they do reach out. How do you feel? Like your first impression of it. What did it feel like? What did it kind of set off inside of you? Because that's going to be the clear indication of exactly, you know, is this a legitimate, you know, phone call, let's say. They're sending you a message or they're coming to see you. Is this like a legitimate thing? Like, what is the intention behind it? Okay, so it's basically saying Don't forget to love yourself first. You've done a lot of work on yourself, like the magician, right? You've created a lot of beautiful things for yourself, again, like the magician would. Since this time has gone by, you've perhaps had your own spiritual awakening. Maybe alarm bells are going off in your head when they show up, and it's like, do you want to set yourself back because they decide to pour the passion on you again? And you're going to have to decide. It kind of feels like, who do you love more with this card here? And if your friends happen to tip you off about something with this energy here, you might want to listen. Okay? So it's like, don't be so, this is kind of saying as far as what to do if they should come back. Don't be so quick to jump on it, on the opportunity. Take a step back. Listen to your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. But ultimately, love yourself first, because it seems with the magician, you've done some magic recently on yourself, on your journey, maybe in your awakening. So the last thing you want to do is kind of set yourself back by falling into a manipulative situation all over again, if that is the case. Okay, so stack number 1, this is your reading. I will leave you here. If you feel that this has helped or connected for you, by all means, please do let me know in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell for notification. And if you also wish to support this channel, click the bell for notification, so you never miss a video as well, so that way you get notified whenever I upload, and I upload often enough. So also, if you want to book a personal reading with me, all my information is in the description box down below. It's just a matter of checking me out on Etsy, seeing what readings I have available, and you can book a reading whenever you're guided to. So much love to you. Be safe wherever you are. Take care and keep shining. Stack number 2, you chose the iceberg. So I will incorporate that into the reading. I just want to get everything out on the table first. So today we're looking at what to do, I guess, what action to take if your person were to reach out to you again. Okay, let's say you've been in no communication, no contact for a while. Maybe you're not prepared for them to reach out, and you kind of want some guidance on how to respond or react to that situation should they reach out, right? So it says success, improving health, engagement. Okay, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. All right. It says the mystic circle, your abilities will be enhanced. Okay. Something about a leveling up here. We have the tree and we have the iceberg. I want to get some tarot here. So stack number 2, what to do should your person reach out, what action to take, how to respond, how to react, guidance about that. Let's see. Okay. See if we can get 2 more. Okay, there's another one. Okay. Let's see, we have the moon, so somebody could be a Pisces. Ooh, we have the devil, that's a Capricorn energy. Somebody could be Capricorn, and let's see what we have here. All right, 7 of Swords. Ooh, I don't know if I like this very much. Okay. All right, well, the first thing that's kind of calling to me, I know these are heavy hitters here. You have 2 Major Arcana and you have the 7 of Swords, right? But this iceberg is asking for my attention, okay? Now, the iceberg does talk about things that are hidden underneath the surface, okay? Hidden emotions, problems, right? Obstacles. I mean, an iceberg. I mean, think of the Titanic, it's a sinking ship. Came down from an iceberg, right? It does talk about also self-reflection, a little bit of maybe exploration as well. There was a general, I think it's General Byrd, that explored Antarctica. Okay, so I also think about this. So it does talk about self-exploration. And I can't help but think with this iceberg, that's a big thing in the way, okay? I don't know if you and your person perhaps were engaged at one time because of the engagement card. It does feel a little bit of like the cards are a little bit ambiguous in the sense that you have some that are really negative and then you have some that are really positive. So I feel there's an issue of trust here, okay? The reason why it feels like, to me, trust could be the obstacle in this connection, All right. It would be really boiling down to whether you can trust them or not. It kind of feels like there's perhaps an attachment or codependency issue here with the devil. It could be that there were some things in the situation that were really unhealthy. Perhaps there were some toxicities with the devil energy. Sometimes it does talk about that. Maybe some unhealthy habits, some vices, maybe unhealthy attachments. Anything that was toxic in the connection would be represented by this devil energy. And then you have this of the Seven of Swords, which isn't really the most trustworthy energy in the deck. Okay. And then the moon talks about confusion and uncertainties. So you can see where I'm kind of feeling a little bit of angst with this, because the energy does feel heavy and it feels like somebody doesn't trust someone else. And maybe that's the biggest obstacle. It's like if they were to come back and you still can't trust them, you're going to have to listen to that, right? So it does talk about success and improving health. So I can't help but wonder if maybe this could talk about you perhaps having some successes and improving your spiritual and well-being in the midst of your spirituality and your well-being or your spiritual health in regards to them not being around. Like if you got, let's say if they got away from you, you got away from them, or you detached from each other's presence, it kind of feels like somebody had some improvement in the midst of that time where you guys weren't together. Okay. It looks like improving health. Somebody has had some successes and has done perhaps better. Maybe released themselves from the attachments or the chains of bondage with this devil energy here after much confusion. Okay, it kind of feels like maybe somebody ghosted with the Seven of Swords. It does talk about, though, the engagement does talk about things going to a higher level commitment. And I feel like if, it's a big if, okay, if you feel that you can trust them, if they are sorry for any heartache or pain that they've caused you, if they can be open and honest and you are willing to forgive them, perhaps there can be a leveling up of this connection. But it's really, like I said, it's really going to boil down to trust. Can you trust them? The Mystic Circle talks about your innate abilities and your awareness also. If you have a keen sense of perception, that is an ability that you'll be able to see through things, see through people, see through their motives, see whether indeed they are serious about you or not. Okay. It feels like if you can see the truth in them, if you're certain that they won't lie or cheat or steal, okay, if they have indeed healed their vices, if that is the case, and can show you the truth without hiding anything with the moon, because the moon talks about hiding, perhaps you can regain the stability in the connection here with this tree energy. This does talk about cycles and seasons, because trees, deciduous trees, especially with leaves that change, they go through changes, They go from, the winter not having any leaves to blossoming leaves, then to shedding them again in the fall, and then being barren again in the winter. Okay, so they have their phases. And it could be that maybe there is a new phase ahead of you guys with the tree, one of growth and stability. It also talks about, trees that grow, they reach up high. So it's about reaching new heights in a situation, kind of like achievement. So there is the potential for growth if the negative or the shadow aspects of this connection can be conquered, healed, so that way you can grow from it rather than be hindered by it. Okay, so I am seeing that as well, but it's going to be a matter of trust. and a matter of revealing the truth without hiding things anymore, without hiding one's true feelings, without lying, without covering anything up. Full disclosure is kind of what I'm feeling from this. If they can give you full disclosure with honesty and vulnerability, I don't see why there couldn't be success if you are willing to forgive. Not to say that you'd forget, because that's the hardest part, if at all. I think people can forgive. I don't really think they can forget. Let's just be honest. There have been many obstacles here with the iceberg in this connection, and we see that again with the devil energy. Creates that, it's this feeling of being tied to something and not really being able to free yourself from it. I can speak of karmic connections as well. It's kind of like the shadow aspected lovers card with the devil. The moon again, keeps things hidden, uncertain, creates doubt and shadow over things, right? And that seems to be what is probably the biggest obstacle in this connection. Doubt, ego, the shadow, maybe some mirroring aspects too have been an issue in this connection. Maybe some lies, someone not being honest, maybe there was cheating. All those things can create very heavy toxicity and shadow aspects over a connection. This does talk about success. So somebody has had success. Somebody has maybe improved health since maybe not being in this connection. Again, the idea of growth. Okay, I kind of want to put that there together. But then we also have cards of enhancing, growth, ascending. It says your love life is ascending to a higher level commitment. Your abilities will be enhanced. So enhancement, ascension, growth, improving health, success. So again, it could just be a matter of maybe this time was needed apart in order for you both to grow on your own spiritual journeys, find success individually, improve your own spiritual health, well-being, mental health, emotional health on your own before anybody could come back together and ascend as a couple. Okay, these are really heavy cards here. Not to say that any of these energies couldn't be overcome, because they can. And that's a possibility, but again, the question will be, will you be able to trust them? I think that's going to boil down to it. The action to take is to, it's kind of feeling like discern whether you can trust them or not. Again, hidden emotions, hidden energy over here with the moon. If they're still hiding something, if they can't be vulnerable, then it kind of feels like you might just need to cut that cord with the devil and call it a day. Because if you're continually healing on your own individual path and you're making gains in your own life, and your person is still in the shadow, it doesn't feel like, again, it'll be that obstacle. And this is a card of, again, self-exploration, right? So you'll have to explore when they come back, is this a connection you want to, get back into if they cannot be fully honest with you? But again, there's this feeling of perhaps if they've conquered this, if they've grown, if they've evolved in themselves, if they've overcome their own shadows, and so have you, then perhaps this can ascend to a higher level of commitment. As it says, again, the mystic circle is talking about your psychic abilities and having to discern with that. So it's going to take maybe your own spiritual discernment to really know how to approach this moving forward. But it kind of feels like the action that you're going to take is almost feeling like the need to require they be truthful. So it's kind of like, I want the truth, I want nothing but the truth. And if you can't give me that, then I have to continue successfully on my own journey and continue evolving and growing on my own. So the action is kind of like demand the truth. Ask for the truth. because it kind of feels like with this energy here, it might be owed to you. Okay, so stack number 2, this is your reading. If you feel that this has helped or connected for you, by all means, please do let me know in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell for notification to support this channel and so you never miss a video. And if you want to book a personal reading, all my information is in the description box down below. All you have to do is check me out on Etsy, see what readings I have available, and you could book a reading whenever you're guided to. So much love to you. Be safe wherever you are. Take care and keep shining. Stack number 3, you chose the candle, and I will incorporate that into the reading the further we go along. I just want to get everything out on the table first. So today we're looking at, what you should do, or maybe some guidance in regards to how to handle the situation when or if your person comes back and reaches out to you. So some of you might not be prepared for that situation. You're probably conflicted within and wondering how to go about it. Should they come back? How should you approach it? What action to take? That kind of thing. So we're going to look at these cards as some guidance on how to approach that situation should it present itself. So let's see. What should you do should they reach out? All right, it says yes. No need to worry. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. We have authority and diplomacy with the king. The candle, obviously. You also had the door and the rose. So an extra one flew out for you. I'm going to grab tarot here to see what you should do should they reach out. So what guidance, maybe what approach to take. Okay, so we have the 3 of Swords. So definitely seems like there was some loss or heartbreak in this connection with that. So let's see if we can get 2 more cards in regards to how to handle this should they come back. What approach to take, what action to take, guidance. 2 more cards, please. Okay, there's 2 there. Let's see. All right, so we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, and we have the 8 of Wands. All right, so it kind of feels like, yeah, I mean, I can see that there was some hurt here, maybe even some confusion, conflict of head and heart with the swords piercing the heart and the emotion. But I kind of feel like, okay, I'm just going to say it this way. If you feel or felt that they are approaching, or that you've been feeling, let's say, energetically that they're going to come back, we have a yes here, okay? And maybe this was a recommended video. I think it was Numb Panda that recommended it as far as the YouTube person that suggested it. So that's why I'm doing this. So thank you, Numb Panda, for this topic recommendation. But it kind of feels like if number 3, if you have been feeling energetically that they are going to come towards you, it kind of feels like this is your answer. So there's a yes. It does feel like there's been some conflict in this situation. Maybe they caused you to feel this conflict in your head and your heart. Perhaps the connection itself was conflicting or complicated. But there does seem to be that there was hurt here. Okay, maybe heartbreak, maybe loss. I don't know if there was a third-party situation, but the 3 of Swords can sometimes indicate that. But it does feel like, despite what the complications were, it does feel like there was a lot of passion here. And it does honestly feel like there's a gesture about to be presented. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles. We have Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus here. I don't know if that's you or your person. But the Page of Pentacles is this energy that delivers, messages. Pages are messengers. And I feel like there's going to be a message that's going to come through, a tangible one. It kind of feels like it's going to be like an olive branch with the page here, because it is the initiation or beginning of something with a page. Pages are students of life. They're just at the beginning stages of learning a situation or finding their way around something. And the pentacle itself talks about a tangible asset, and it does have the ability to expand and grow and multiply. But you gotta kind of invest in that first coin, right? So it does feel like your person is going to present a tangible offer or a message to you You're going to have to decide whether it's worth investing in, especially if you were hurt before. However, it kind of feels like there's no need to be too concerned, or in other words, not to make the problem out to be perhaps bigger than what it seems, or bigger than what it really is. And that's not like downplaying any hurt that you experienced in the past or anything, but the worry that you have about them reaching out might actually be bigger than what the situation really is, in a sense. So if you're having fears or anxieties about them reaching out, this is kind of saying not to worry about that. That's what I'm talking about. Because with that Eight of Wands, there is definitely communication here. We have two energies of communication. Eight of Wands definitely talks about phone calls, emails, texts, maybe even social media. It could be long distance. Somebody could be far away from you. This talks about travel. It does talk about passion flying through the air, things happening fast, Cupid, arrow darts flying. So there is definitely energies of passion right here with these two, communication with these two. And if you're worried about the circumstance once they finally do, if you've been feeling them energetically trying to come towards you, this is saying not to worry about that when it finally comes through, everything's going to be fine. Okay, don't worry your head over it or your heart over it with this Three of Swords. Okay, head with the swords and heart over here. Don't worry your head or your heart over it. Okay, it kind of feels like to let it play out. There's like this feeling of like nonchalance or just a little bit of carefree energy. Just approach it. Just let it be what it'll be. Let it go how it will go. Let it flow the way it'll want to flow. But it kind of feels like there's still love here or passion here. There's excitement still, like your person, and vice versa. You might make them feel butterflies. They might make you feel butterflies. So there's still this like tingly feeling. I'm kind of experiencing that now. That's why I'm saying it. There's like this tingly feeling in the stomach, butterflies in the stomach, in regards to the way that your person makes you feel, and vice versa. And that's kind of why this is also here, in the sense where it's like, don't worry so much about this. It'll kind of work itself out. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. You have cards of gesture as well with the flower and the page. Pages deliver a message. The flower itself is a message. The flower itself, when you deliver a rose or you give somebody a rose, it is a gesture, right? A gift. This talks about something blossoming, the potential of something. Again, the pages are, they're full of potential. So again, it's like there's potential here. The connection does have somewhere that it can go. It has potential to go somewhere. And it's kind of like that olive branch feeling that I was getting. Your person might want to extend the olive branch by, or with some sort of gesture, perhaps some form of communication as well. I kind of feel like they are going to come knocking at your door with this here. Okay, and the thing is, are you going to be willing to open up the door to them, right? Because the door is all about that. What opportunity is, opening up to you? This is you walking through into a new situation, or you have to make a choice. Think of the game like Let's Make a Deal back in the day. There was like 3 or 4 doors, and you would have to choose what ever your prize would be behind a certain door. So there's a choice here. If they come back, they're going to present you with an offer, a gesture of love. They're going to be demonstrating their passion towards you, but you're going to have to decide. Again, the idea of choice. Are you going to want to walk through that door? Are you going to want to accept or give them a chance, basically? Are you willing to close the door on the past and open the door into something new with them? Because I kind of feel like with this energy here, the flame never went out. All right, this talks about hope, the fire burning, the flame didn't go out, the spark didn't die out. Not with this here. It does talk about one's divine spark as well, so it could be a divine spark between you, maybe a spiritual connection as well. But this is a card of, like it says, authority and diplomacy. So if anything, this feels like, it does feel kind of like an Aries Emperor energy. This symbol over here, okay, the winged serpent with the sun disk, okay, it's a symbol of protection, okay. And then you have the life force energy of the Ankh, which is also about spirituality and life. So I don't know, like this kind of feels like you might be tempted to, like, obviously protect your energy. All right, especially with the Three of Swords, if there was a tough situation in the past with your person, you might want your first inclination might be to protect your energy and say, oh heck no, right? No, I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to put my guard up. I'm going to, I'm going to treat them. I'm going to be diplomatic about the whole thing, right? I'm going to, be very calm, cool, collected. I'm going to, be respectful, that kind of thing. Rational, logical. But at the same time, I'm not going to really let them get through. Like, that's kind of the initial reaction, right? Like, I'm going to show my strength, in other words, at first. But it kind of feels like, yeah, handle it with yeah, be diplomatic about the whole thing. Sure. Okay, that's only fair. Maybe there are some things that kind of need negotiated. I'm also getting that from that card. You might have to lay some things out on the table for them. Certainly. But it kind of feels like there's this feeling of like, be fair at the same time, right? Because it doesn't feel like you totally want to scare them away or put the goal up completely. It could be that your initial reaction is to do that. But then at the same time, if there's passion here, if there's still love, if there's still the flame or the spark that's still burning, you're probably going to have to find a balance. Because if you put the wall up too far, too high, if you demonstrate so much authority, confidence, and a wall, they won't stand a chance in getting through. So there's kind of a need to somewhat be a little bit vulnerable, give it a little bit of vulnerability just so you can see where it goes, right? Because it does feel like they're going to try to knock on the door, they'll offer a gesture, try to talk to you, initiate something here. It will probably have you conflicted, head and heart. You might want to put that guard up. But this is also saying, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Maybe, okay, I can't help but think, stack number 3 people, them coming back and knocking at your door is going to make you feel somewhat vindicated, okay? That you knew all along they were going to come back. But I want to say, don't throw that in their face, okay? Don't throw it in their face. All right? Not, you might be tempted to do that too, okay? But it will make you feel vindicated for sure. Maybe you're a little concerned, because you, like I said, energetically you might be feeling them coming back, and it's like, oh shoot, what do I do if they do come back? But this is also saying, allow your heart to sing a little bit, because this kind of feels like something you perhaps have wanted, and then when the opportunity finally presents itself, when they do come around and communicate, right? Send you a message on social media or something, text you, your first thing might want to be to avoid it, right? And show your authority and show that you can't be messed with, and that you have a hard shell. They will try to soften your heart, though. I can see it here. Again, the rose or the flowers here. But I would say be slightly open to possibility here with the Page of Pentacles. I would probably say don't let your guard down completely, but just be a little open-minded at the same time, because it kind of feels like you've been feeling them coming back anyhow, and then here they are presenting themselves. And like I said, the passion, the spark is still there. You have 3 cards that are kind of indicating that right there together. So it could be something worth salvaging. All right, if you can clear this up, right? If there was any misunderstanding here with the Three of Swords and you can clear that up, like I said earlier, just go with the flow. Don't worry about how it'll turn out. Maybe just allow it to fall into place. Okay, so stack number 3, this is your reading. If you feel that this is helped and connected for you, by all means, please do let me know in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell for notification to support this channel and so you never miss a video. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, all you have to do is check out my description box. My Etsy link to the shop is there. All you have to do is visit me, see what readings I have available, and you can book a reading whenever you feel led to. So much love and blessings to you wherever you are in the world. Please be safe. Take care of yourself and keep shining. Stack number 4, you chose the rope, and that will be incorporated into your reading further we go along. I want to get everything on the table first. So what we're looking at today is what to do should your person reach out to you, like how to approach it, how to handle it, like guidance on how to deal with that, right? So maybe you haven't been in touch with them for a while. Maybe, it's been a no communication situation and you're wondering how to react or handle it should they reach out. So let's see. All right, so it says recovery, unlikely, heart-to-heart conversations. This is honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Harlequin, true feelings are masked. And we have, again, the rope, and and we have the herb. All right, so let's get some tarot. Let's see how to handle this situation. Should they reach out? What to do? What guidance to take, or what guidance to follow here? How to react, maybe. Oh, okay, King of Swords. Somebody could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That could be you. That could be them. Let's see. 2 more cards. Nine of Wands. 6 of Swords. Okay. Alrighty, so yeah, this is feeling like somebody's hiding their true feelings. They don't want to, or they're putting a mask on. They just have a mask. They're putting up a front in a situation. Maybe they've been putting up a front the whole time, because this energy is talking about heart-to-heart conversations. You got to honestly discuss your feelings with each other, and if feelings have been masked with this energy, it's basically saying that we need honesty here. So you might be in a situation where you're confronted with having to confront them for honesty, okay? Because it's like, if you can't address the elephant in the room, how are we ever going to move forward? You really can't. It's like the guard is always going to be up. You have the Knight of Wands here, and that does indeed talk about having your walls up. And the King of Swords does have the Sword of Truth in front of him. So whenever I look at the energy like this, this kind of feels like I'm not going to let anything get past this Sword of Truth. If I can't have the truth, then I don't want nothing at all. You see how the sword is blocking his face, his chest, everything. So it's kind of like this feeling of I need the truth. And it's like, if I can't get the truth, you shall not pass. That's kind of how this is feeling. So it may be a matter of demanding the truth or wanting the truth, because somebody has really been hiding how they really feel. And it's like, heart-to-heart conversation is needed. Obviously, if they call back, or they call and they approach you, if they, send you a message, that kind of thing, the guts need to be spilled, okay? The heart-to-heart conversation has to be had. There's gonna be a need for honesty. So it kind of feels like somebody has been trying to recover or heal from the connection ever since maybe the last time you guys spoke or were together. It doesn't really feel with this energy here that there's a good opportunity to salvage this. So even if they do reach out to you, unless the truth can be shared, the feelings be disclosed, it doesn't feel like it has a chance, okay? Because it feels like somebody's been trying to heal, move forward, recover from the connection. Release is also a word I'm getting. Release the connection, because perhaps if the walls were put too high with your person, somebody's walls were put real high, and it feels like someone else couldn't jump over them, okay, or couldn't get to the heart of someone. And if they, again, weren't letting you get to the heart, let's say, or if somebody was behaving indifferently while the other person only wanted to love them, that's a huge, disparity there. It's like you're not on the same page. Candle just went out, so I'll replace that. Just give me 1 second. It really does feel like if they reach out, you're going to want or need the truth in order to make any progress, in order for you to even trust. Nine of Wands talks about trepidation and worry, the wounded warrior. So somebody has been hurt, okay? Somebody has been wounded in this connection, and the defense mechanisms are up, okay? Sorry, I'm going to just try to get the smoke out the way. Defense mechanisms are up, are going to stay up without the truth, right? So it's kind of like, why are you calling me if you can't even be real with me, right? That's another thing that I'm feeling from this. Why are you calling me if you can't even be real with me? You can't be open and honest with me. Why are we even talking right now? That's what this feels like. And you might need to take on that demeanor, like, put the walls up, be guarded, because, you need truth. And you're going to have to approach this very rationally with the King of Swords energy. He's more of a thinker, not a feeler. So this is kind of the energy of, don't be very rational, logical in your thought process when this person reaches out. Ask for truth if that's what you feel you deserve. Don't let your walls come down unless until you get the truth. Like, it's almost like, have those defense mechanisms up. Don't allow yourself to be completely vulnerable until you get the truth of a matter. Okay? Because somebody's really just not being honest, or they're not fully disclosing the depths of what they're feeling or experiencing. And it's like, if they can't be honest about how they feel with themselves, how do you expect them to, or vice versa? Like, if they can't be honest with how they feel with you, they're definitely not being honest with themselves, and vice versa, not being honest with themselves. How can you expect them to be honest with you? So yeah, there's a need for honest discussion. And you might have to ask for that fully and irrevocably, okay? We do have the Six of Swords. So again, the idea of somebody recovering, this is all about moving on and healing, finding peace of mind and clarity. Having been through an experience, you take the experiences with you, but you don't let them drag you down anymore. Again, that still applies to the idea of recovery, trying to get over something and not let it pull you down or sink you anymore. I think the connection was maybe one that was heavy and probably did have a weight on you, and maybe had you feeling maybe like you were in a sinking ship until you finally let it go and recovered, and moved on. Okay. So you might be in the process of moving on with the Six, because the Six of Swords always talks about moving away from something, leaving something tumultuous behind, because you want something that's a little bit more peaceful for yourself. You want that peace of mind and clarity. You have the herb energy. This does talk about healing. So again, the idea of recovering, healing. You've been doing your healing work in the midst of not being with them. It also is a medicine now. Things that are medicinal. Okay? Things that are medicinal, you can add them or omit them from your diet. Okay? Or from your daily routine. All right, you have vitamins, you can add vitamins when you need them, and you can also stop taking them when you don't need them anymore. So it might be a matter of, is this something you need, or is this something you want to avoid in your life? Okay, so do you want to add this person back into your life, or do you want to avoid it? Right? And I think that'll depend on whether they're going to bring you honesty or not, right? If they can drop the facade, if they can drop the mask, then okay, maybe we can have a discussion, right? It's going to be a matter of, is this something you want, or do you need this again in your life, or do you want to incorporate this person back into your life? It's one of those things, there'll be a moment, I think, in conversation when you realize if this is going anywhere or not. This is kind of what this is saying to me. You do have the rope. It is a strong connection, it is a bond, okay? You get tied up in knots with somebody. It's hard to disconnect or cut yourself free. It's a little bit of an entanglement with the rope. So I could definitely see how, you know, there is a bond here. There is a tie, maybe even soul tie here with your person. Maybe that's part of the issue. Maybe that's part of why they don't admit to themselves the depth of the connection. Maybe they hide the depth of their feelings. You know what I mean? But at the same time, one way of liberating yourself is by admitting it. Okay? One way of liberating yourself from something is by owning it, by admitting or, you know, fessing up to it. You know, so this is the thing, what I'm feeling like from this. It's like if they would just fess up, admit how they feel, own it, you know, it could free them from that mask that they hide behind. It could be a liberating moment to tell the truth. The King of Swords wants the truth, right? So I do feel that this is one of those things that if they can't disclose the real them, the real truth, how they truly feel, and they probably do feel something deep, but if they're hiding from it, running from it, afraid of it, they're going to continue to put up this mask. And if they can't drop the mask and free themselves enough to be true to themselves and then be true to you, then it kind of feels like it really doesn't have a chance to go anywhere with this unlikely card. And it might just be a matter of you continuing on with your healing and keeping it moving with the Six of Swords. Okay, so stack number 4, this is your reading. I'm going to leave you here. If you feel that this has helped or connected for you, by all means, please do let me know in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell for notification to support this channel. If you want to book a reading, all you have to do is check me out on Etsy, see what readings I have available, and you can book a reading with me at any time. So much love and blessings to you, stack number 4 viewer. Take care, be safe wherever you are, and keep shining.